Mission Impossible isn't really a story about Ethan Hunt. It's a story about Tom Cruise. I'm going to break down how Cruise uses stunts, soundbites, and spectacle to craft something more powerful than a blockbuster. We all know Tom Cruise does his own death-defying stunts in the Mission Impossible films. It gives these movies a realism most action flicks can't replicate. But here's the trick. The magic doesn't come from the danger. It comes from the close-up. Cruise knows the power of his own face, his image. Let's look at how most films handle action scenes when using stunt doubles. In Skyfall, the opening dirt bike chase through Istanbul is a perfect example. We start with a close-up performance shot of Daniel Craig before the chase starts. And then, when his stunt double starts driving through the crowd, he's distant and riding away from camera. And then we cut back to his face driving the bike, but he's not driving at all. They mounted the bike to a contraption that holds it in place, called a rig, that might look something like this, that was later digitally inserted into the shot of him driving through the market. Look, they forgot to add the front tire in. Yeah, the ring of the tire itself should have been added in digitally, like this, but they forgot. So it's pretty obvious seeing that he's not driving. He's just acting. And in subsequent shots where we do see the full bike darting and swerving through the alleys, we don't see his face because, again, it's a stunt driver. Or this shot where he rides past us, but his face is in shadow and blurred out because it's not him. So they intercut action shots of the stunt double driving with close-up shots of the actor sitting safely on a contraption that's driving for him. That's why we never see a close-up of his face in the same shot as the wheels hitting the ground. So they use a wider lens for the action and a tight portrait lens for the performance. It works, but the performance is one level removed from the action. And also, look at Craig's acting. His face doesn't really change because he's not doing his own stunts, so he doesn't feel the danger himself. He feels polished and safe. Now compare all of that with one shot of Tom Cruise and a cruise missile in Mission Impossible 3. Boom! Look at Tom's face. Look at the action. Which feels more authentic to you? Tom Cruise and the directors he hires to make his films all know the power of combining the performance and the action into a single shot. It's hard to act and expensive to shoot, but it helps us, the audience, connect with Tom, like we're going through it with him. It's why before the final two Mission Impossible films started in the theater, we see a close-up of Tom's face as he's talking to us directly.
Please enjoy the show.
He's connecting with the audience before connecting with the audience over and over again in the film. Real quick, if you're enjoying this, please like the video below, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and leave a comment with your thoughts. The director, Christopher McQuarrie, says it best when picking out the type of vehicle to use for a high-speed chase.
When we looked at the terrain, we recognized that this is going to require something more rugged, and we wanted to see Tom driving, and that's when we decided on Jeep.
What does he mean by seeing Tom driving? Look at this giant flat windshield and unobstructed window frames the Jeep has, like a skeleton of a car, perfect for filming Cruise driving from all angles. The stunts only matter as much as the emotions we can feel on the actor's face.
You are the master of stunts.
At the Dead Reckoning Part 2 red carpet, Tom dropped a soundbite so well designed it was probably scripted.
I know you said that you would keep making Mission Impossible movies into your 80s.
Maybe movies, actually, I'm going to make them into my hundreds. I'll never stop doing action.
Did you notice how Tom was prompted by that question from the host?
You said that you would keep making Mission Impossible movies into your 80s.
It was most likely planned that way. It wasn't just enthusiasm, it was branding. Cruise was selling himself as Mr. Impossible. And because Cruise speaks so rarely, that one little soundbite turned into headlines across the world, feeding the narrative he set up well in advance to help sell the movie.
Well, hello, Tom Cruise.
Cruise made another surprise appearance during the Paris 2024 Olympics opening ceremony to cheer on the athletes and, of course, promote his upcoming Mission Impossible film by doing his signature branding. Notice how he starts by looking directly into the camera, and in that same camera shot, jumps off the roof of the stadium. The more Tom Cruise successfully blurs the line between himself and his characters, the more people buy into his movies. I think deep down, we make Tom's story our story. Because through Tom Cruise's impossible life, we find the courage to imagine our own.